Man Had a Show podcast. Welcome to another edition. We got a young lady here, friend, a foe. She's not a foe. Definitely a friend. But I thought it was an honor for me to ask her to be a part of the podcast because she's a superstar in her own right. You know, she a TV celebrity. You know, they go on those reality shows, become superstars and all that, and then they become the toast of the city. And so that's what Alexis Fly Jones is. So thank you for being here. I appreciate you.
Hey, my
Got
friend.
nothing but love for you. Show is called Ready to Love. How a show end and she don't find love is still
Still a mystery.
I don't understand how you go on a show Ready to Love. Is it just because y'all performing on the show? Or were you not really ready to love and shouldn't have been on the show in the first place? Season 4.
You know what? I do ask myself that question. Should have I gone on that show? I don't know. I think about it a lot. Ready to love. You know, I feel like, some people that were on there weren't necessarily ready to love.
Oh, stop. Just in case y'all hear noise in the background, our partner Macbeth, we at his elevations. I don't want to really call it a barbershop because I still don't really know what this place is. It's a winery. It looked like it's going to be a diner one day. It's a bar on the other side. It's a place for DJs, the DJs. I'm looking at a brother over here cutting somebody's hair, so they're cutting over here and stuff. So I don't really know. I don't want to say elevation's the barbershop. It sounds disrespectful. It's a big old place, and you can get your hair cut here or get you some alcohol. Your choice. On a Friday night, it's probably going to be a great place to come party and get you a tight cut before you go home at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. So I had to say that in case y'all hear some of the homies in the background laughing or any other miscellaneous sound that you would hear at the barbershop. But I just thought this would be a cool place for us to sit down and break imaginary bread together. So saying all that,
Yes.
Please continue with your wonderful story about how you did not find love on a show that was built on you finding love.
I feel like you throwing slugs over here,
It's
friend.
not a slug, it's just truth.
Let me tell you, and it is
And
the
you're a
truth.
woman of Christ and Jesus,
I am.
so I know
Woman of God.
that.
Yes.
See, so I know that you're gonna embrace truth.
I am. I'm definitely going to do that. And the simple answer to that question is that my God, my man, the one that God has for me, was not there. And that was the conclusion that I had to come to.
Is that what the viewers would say?
Yeah, I think that's what the viewers would say. And I think they would say that based off of how I exited the show. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. But, I went on there sincerely thinking that this might be an opportunity. It had been a while since I had, found love. I had been in love before. I was married, as you know. I want to dig into that too. I was gonna let you casually get to it and try to act like I wasn't nosy and try to get some more info out of you that I don't know. But go ahead. The whole pastor's wife thing. So we'll talk about that.
Preacher's wife.
But this was a different way because I hope that, based off of my experience, other women, would see themselves in me, that they would be blessed by my journey. That was my initial thought process. And I said, why not? I mean, I've tried it different ways. I might as well try it this way. And the worst that could happen would be what happened was that I walked away without finding someone.
When they did the TV show, how did they go about contacting the people that they got for the show? What did you have to do?
So ironically, back in the Gap, when I was an intern, I worked at Music World Entertainment, and one of my friends there that I worked with reached out to me via DM on Instagram, and she sent me the flyer, and she was like, Alexis, I think your personality would be great for this. And I'm like, really? I don't know about all that. And she was like, just go for it. You might as well. And I said, okay. So I went ahead, I applied that day. Submitted my photos, wrote up a little, short essay, and I'm done with it. I ain't really think it was going to happen. I kid you not. About 3 hours later, when I submitted, I looked at my phone and it said Hollywood. Then words, how your iPhone be?
Yeah.
Hollywood. I said, oh man. So I picked it up, Beverly Hills. And there it was. There was one of the producers, telling me that they had received my information, my photos, and would I be interested in, interviewing right now while I was on the phone. And I interviewed right there in that moment. Yeah. And so from then on, it went on to more interviews, and you had to go through all the process. And I just kept getting through it. And I was actually supposed to be on season 3. A lot of us it was 2 seasons. So when they do this show, they go to different cities around the nation, and they do 2 seasons in each city. So I was supposed to be on the first season in Houston, or so I thought. And we were supposed to be on the resort. And because COVID hit, everything got postponed.
Oh, was that during? Oh yeah,
it was during
COVID. Yeah.
And so, and let me retract that because I really don't know if I was supposed to be on season 3 or season 4 was supposed to also be on the resort. Whatever the case, months went by. It was up in the air. Really didn't know if it was going to happen. And then that following January, we received our call saying it was still on. Are you still available? Are you still single? I was. There it was. And there it was. We were ready to take and move forward. January 2020.
Before I jump back to the preacher's wife.
Whitney Houston.
I'm trying to figure, how are you still now?
Yeah.
I will say maybe a year and a half out from this TV show. Why is it that you're still single? You mobile, you're on the move, you're looking good, you got your stuff together. Is it you? I have to ask that question.
You know, that is the question.
You've been on a TV show that's got the title Love in it.
Yeah.
You know, you was anointed in a relationship. Yeah. So, you know, at some time, we might have to look at the person in the mirror and say, is it us? So what is it?
Absolutely. I think I'm still trying to find the answers to that question, to be quite honest with you. One of the things that I said when I exited from the show, because I was the last bachelorette, you know, that left the show, and because the man changed his mind, and that's okay, men have the right to change their minds. But I literally said to the women, I imagine myself talking to just millions of women, and I said, if I see myself the way that God sees me, then God will release me. And what I meant by that was, if I could truly value myself the way that God values me as his daughter, then that's what I'm going to manifest. That's what I receive. And so I've taken a lot of time to navigate that process of finding out the root of certain responses to myself. You know, looking back at my childhood, I went into therapy. Not saying that anything's wrong with me per se, but we all have things that, you know, we need to reflect on and mirror back and see what is it that I'm contributing. And so I've learned more so from that show what I want, what I don't want, and how to value myself. I would say that the men on that show, in matter of opinion, they didn't see the value per se in me, so they made different choices. Not that I wasn't good enough, because you go through that as women. Like you said, I'm sitting there like, well, heck, what's wrong with me? To your point, I do this, I got this going on.
Maybe I did say something was wrong with him. I apologize to all the ladies out there. They probably got mad at me. Gonna get a lot of comments on about it.
No, but there's a lot of women that are in this place that feel like that. Like, you know, I got a good job. You know, I'm a good mother. This, that, and the other. I love God. I go to church. You know, and it's like, what's going on? And it's not that I can't find a man, but I have become even more so, very choosy and more wise on who I give my attention to.
Let me ask you this. Yeah. Do you think that maybe because all you do, all the moves you make, like if somebody see you, they can tell you, you're a move and a shaker type person. Yeah, for sure. Are you perhaps maybe intimidating? Because I hate to say it, some guys, they just intimidated by people who look strong. Yes. Because deep down inside, no matter how big they are, sometimes they weak. Yes. They don't want somebody with strength. So could it be that they intimidated by your movement, so to speak?
I absolutely agree with that. And I actually hear it all the time. When I've asked male friends, what's your opinion?
And I wouldn't change. I wouldn't change none of that. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to find, I think, a man that's okay with who you are. You know, that can what I always say, he can hold the total capacity of who you are. And if he can't, he's not the one. And I've heard that so many times from men. I ask my male friends, like, what y'all think is the issue? And they say, Alex, they're intimidated by you. That's what I literally hear all the time. So then you try to figure out, do I need to alter myself? Do I need to try to bring it down? I heard, you know, a lot of people say, you know, your masculinity is showing up too much. You need some more of your femininity out. And here's the thing. All I can do is be me, be Alexis. I was raised a certain way. I am who I am. So that's where it goes back to FLY, which stands for first love yourself. I'm loving me. If you can't love me for who I am, then you're not the one. But I had to look at it that way instead of looking at it like, dang, something wrong with me, or trying to feel like I got to change myself or do something to get a man to want me or get the man that I want to want me.
Okay.
Time out for that. So that's what I've been doing for the past year and a half.
Y'all gonna keep on being intimidated, huh?
Yeah, and that's fine.
Nah, you be all right.
You know,
there's cats out there. That's what they looking for. They're looking for strong, making moves, because all you gonna do is, you know,
strengthen them.
Yeah, what they say, iron
sharpens iron.
There you go. So,
and that's what I want too now. You know, somebody that, you know, in terms of being a rib, that, you know, if he has the business or he has aspirations and goals, now I've put all of that, you know, in my tool belt. So, you know, in terms of, you know, helping my significant other with his brand or with his, you know, I know how to do that now. So, but I want to bring that to somebody who's worthy, you know, enough for that to be brought to and whom I can respect.
Feel that. Now, I know the show is still moving strong.
It is.
I don't know, season
8, I think. Yeah.
Do they do the shows where they go back? I know they done probably one when they get everybody together, but do they ever come back and say, let's go back and get some of the people that were on the show, they did not find love. Let's get them back together to see if we can do another opportunity to find love. And if they did or do that, would you be willing to go back on the show and search for love again?
So to answer the first part of the question, they actually did that with KG Smooth on my season. So he didn't find love in season 3, so he came back on season.
KG Smooth works at Magic 102 in Houston, Texas. Cool cat.
Yeah, very cool cat.
That's a Quiet Storm.
We actually went on like 4 or 5 dates, and most people don't know that because they didn't show their part.
Really?
Yeah, we did.
How was that?
It was cool, but quickly,
KG crazy.
It was odd because it was odd, and he knows we talked about it because we were friends before, and it was kind of like, okay, I guess we can try this, but we already knew this. So I was pushing him towards Amber, which is the person that he ended up being with at the end of the show. Okay. So, you kind of already know who you want to be with,
Do you? Now, I'm glad you told me. Is that a secret of the show? You already are kind of like have in your head that, oh, this guy right here is the one.
And I won't say this for everybody, but the way that I'm built, it doesn't take that long. It takes about 1 conversation and 2 to know if we really a fit and if I should waste my time or not. And so, but the challenge of that show is, one thing that Tommy told us is we're here because we choose the same thing over and over. So obviously we need to do something different. So at least one of these guys needs to be different from what you normally would choose or go for. You need to be open and give that individual a chance. So I definitely did that on the show.
Okay.
Because, you have to, sometimes we're not always right because obviously what I was doing before wasn't working. That's why we were there.
Well, it's not that it wasn't working.
Yeah, well.
Sometimes that the other person ain't working.
Yeah. Ooh, you better preach a word. Yes.
You wow.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, that's true. You're right about that.
Now, we've talked about the TV. That's off the table now. We ain't come back to that again.
Bye-bye.
For those that don't know, I want to go back to who you are, where you from, where you started, and how you did get to that place.
Yeah.
Because there's a walk to get to be the preacher's wife.
Yeah, it is. Wow, we really talk about this. Nobody has ever actually asked me this, so I just want to say, man, thank you. I've never talked about with all my interviews in the last few years.
I'm sorry.
We haven't gone to the core of this, and people have actually really asked about who Alexis is. So if I were to go on Instagram right now or DM you some photos from some years ago, you probably wouldn't know who that was. You would. Back in maybe before 2013, I was actually going around preaching and ministering to small churches around Houston. I was on a track of ministry. At the age of about 12, it was prophesied to me that I'll be an evangelist. And
you from Houston?
I'm from Houston, born and raised from the Southwest side, baby. All day. Southwest. I don't know nothing about that dirty north, nothing. I don't even know. When I get over there, I get lost, okay? But just totally lost. But yeah,
and was the family a family of God?
Of God. You could say that.
Okay.
On my mother's side in particular, we have a lot of ministers.
Gotcha.
My aunt is a pastor.
Okay.
Currently right now. My grandmother, everybody. And on my dad's side too, my aunt, his sister they have a church.
So you just picking up the church baton?
Yeah, always been in the church.
Okay.
You've heard that story before. But I was not a child of a pastor. I wasn't a PK or anything like that. But my mom, that was her thing to make sure that she planted that seed of faith in me at a very young age because she always knew she wouldn't be able to protect me from things that happen in life, and you're gonna need something or a spiritual being or your creator to lean on, and that has really gotten me through life, as I've gotten older. But yeah, so ministering, preaching really was on the track to that. I had no intentions. There was no motive on marrying a minister or a pastor. That was not my plan. I just wanted to encourage and inspire women in particular, because what I have found in my life is that I've dealt with a lot of emotions as it relates to a broken heart, the brokenness of heart. And one thing God says is that he's near to the brokenhearted. And so that's my ministry when it comes to women, because I've been there. I've been through a lot of different things from a young age all the way, to an adult now. And that's the place that I feel is my purpose and my calling to. So that's what I was doing, women's conferences, all that kind of stuff. Next thing you know, I did a vision board in 2012, and I wrote a lot of things on that vision board. I did a Daniel fast, which I'm currently doing now. A Daniel fast. You ever heard of a Daniel fast?
I don't know what that is.
Okay. So Daniel in the Bible, just we ain't gonna go deep, but basically he did a fast for 21 days because he was trying to hear from God and get some answers. Right. So a lot of churches do it now.
So it's better to hear from God when you're starving.
Well, apparently, according to the Bible, that you got to eat to yourself, and it includes you can't eat no food. And baby, when you starving, you gonna hear something. Okay.
That could be your belly, though.
You gonna hear the belly, but then after a while, you don't even hear your belly no more.
Okay.
You start. No, I was gonna joke and say you start hallucinating, but anyway.
No. But so you're on 21 days doing
21
this.
days.
Okay.
Right now, and a lot of churches do it at the beginning of the year because you're consecrating your year. Blessing it. It's like giving first fruits, right?
Okay.
So I did that back in 2012, and alongside that, this is not what normally happens. I wrote the vision and made it plain. Habakkuk 2:2 talks about that, but it also talks about at the appointed time it will come to pass. Because you wrote it down, don't mean it's gonna happen tomorrow. Okay, but it's something about when you write a thing,
absolutely,
you're decreeing it, right?
Absolutely,
it just works.
Absolutely,
I think it's just a law. I don't know why, but it works.
I don't know why, but it does. If you write it, see it, visualize it, you make it happen.
It does. It's a law. And so I did that. One of the things I put on there was to become a TV producer. At the time, I was a publicist. I put that I wanted to get married. I wanted to go forth in ministry, all those things. All of those things happened within 2012. That's when I met my husband. We dated for 2 years following that, and we got married. And he was a pastor at the time that I met him. That's how I gained the title of First Lady, pastor's wife. What can I say about that?
Without me having to ask, I appreciate it.
Yeah, I already know that's what people want to know. I think that being a pastor's wife is definitely a calling. I think I was called to it in that season that I was married to who I was married. It is definitely a lot of sacrifice. It's giving up yourself. And I think the main thing that I struggle with, and a lot of first ladies struggle with, but they mask because they don't want to talk about it. Because here's the thing, it's this image of perfection you're trying to portray in the church because you don't necessarily want them to know the pains and the ins and outs of what you're going through internally in your home. But I think pastors, families, first families should do more of that because that's being transparent, and I believe transparency saves. But in our home, and this is something I can share outwardly because we've talked about it, and when I say we have, my ex-husband, and he's apologized to me for it, was that a lot of times pastors tend to choose the church, make the church their wife. And they are the priority. So instead of the hierarchy, being God, family, then the church, some doctrine teach people that it's God, the church, then your family. And to me, in my opinion, that's out of order. But, there's so many things you're concerned about when you have a church. You don't want to lose members. That's the first thing. You don't want to lose money because that helps you keep, the doors open. There's all these different things, and pastors have a lot of stress on them. We didn't have the issue of women. People already always want to know that, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that out. That is not why I decided to exit my marriage. My ex-husband did not cheat on me. It was nothing like that, but it was just the lack of connection in our relationship and feeling like I was on the back burner. And it just got.
You don't think there was nothing that ever could have been done to save that?
So I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is because I don't think, when we make decisions, I think God knows we're going to make those decisions ahead of time. So I think that it was purpose the way that it came about. I did sit on it for 2 years before I filed for divorce. So it was not a rushed decision. We tried therapy, we tried conversations, we tried changing ourselves. And here's the thing, when you're in marriage, you're always evolving. You're always changing. So you guys have to make a decision. Are you going to be able to continue to evolve together? Because here's the thing about marriage, and I was saying this to a friend the other day, sometimes, and this is not everybody's marriage, just speaking about some who can relate to this. No, you can wake up and look at the person and be like, ooh, I don't want to do this today. Should I hit the door? And then you wake up the next day, oh, I love this person. I'm so glad I married them. Because you go through those ups and downs. Loving somebody is a decision pattern to love somebody every day. It's not based off of emotions. Do I feel like this today? Do I feel like it's a decision? It was just like it was a decision for Jesus to go to the cross and die for us. He didn't have to do that. He could have called a legion of angels to come and get him and be like, I'm out. I ain't helping y'all. Ungrateful folks.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
But based off my faith and belief, he knew that was his will and his purpose. So he chose to extend his love. Even though he was getting beat up on, cussed out, saying that he wasn't who he was. And so, and I bring Jesus up in that because the church is an example of the bride, right? And so we're his bride. He could have left his bride hanging, you know? And so, it's a choice to love. Love is a choice. I really believe that it's a daily decision because every day is just not going to be perfect. And that person's going to get on your nerves. So to answer your question, we tried.
Okay.
And I thought that for the betterment, when my son came into the picture, for the betterment and for his emotional health and well-being, the place that we were was not healthy for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not want to continue on with the same cycle that happened when I was younger and what I saw with my parents.
Mm.
So I had to exit stage left.
I got you. That's hard.
It is.
I mean, in the church or out the church, especially when you have a child or you bring children into the mix.
Yeah.
Because I think everyone walks into marriage with hopes of, la 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 la, but it's not always like
it's not always like
that. There's a lot of sacrifice.
It is. And if somebody tells you la 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 and it's happy ever after, they're not telling you the truth. They're giving you the highlights of what it is. Nobody exposes what really is going on behind the scenes, unless it's probably more so in a private type of. But when it's public and you're a public figure, we ain't out here talking about, oh man, pissed me off last night and we just had a fight. Ain't nobody showing that. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I feel like if people
that don't look good on Instagram.
It doesn't. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And then you really don't need to tell your business like that anyway, because then that becomes another thing. But I feel like in our private conversations or conversations with friends or other people who are married or in relationships or even single, or even a single mom or having we should be real and honest about our experiences, because when I said transparency saves, you never know if I'm going through something, by me sharing something with you, it may be saving your mind, your life. It may be helping you to make a decision.
True.
You got to open your mouth and talk about it. You don't have to tell your business, but be led, if it's going to help somebody.
How do you mix dating and then having a spiritual base?
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know some people of the church, if they see you on TV, like, oh my gosh, she's on TV and she's supposed to be a woman of Christ.
Oh yeah.
And next thing you know, try to kick you out the church and all that kind of stuff.
You hitting the nail on the head. You've been real, and I'm glad you asked me all the good questions that nobody's ever asked me, because that is something I struggle with.
Really? Okay.
The way that they characterized me, they didn't make me so much as holier than thou, which I was grateful for, because in real life I'm not.
Right.
Okay, let's be clear. Like, I don't walk in the spirit every single day.
Yeah,
I'm a human. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And the thing is, what I wanted to portray is that, I may be a woman of faith, but, I have my flaws too. I have my insecurities as well. I'm a normal human being, and I don't always make the right decisions. It's very hard because you had so many people judging you.
Yes.
Because, she's supposed to be a pastor wife, and she being negative about the church. I'm not being negative about anything. I'm telling you my experience and my truth. Some people are going to relate. Some people are not. And it was hard mentally. I'm not going to lie to you, Hatter, and this is probably the first time I've ever said this on anybody's platform. But after that show, I struggled. Mentally, I struggled because you know going into this that people are gonna have opinions, but it's different when you're in it and you see all social media talking and everybody's giving their opinions, and you got the trolls, and it was some nasty things that were said. People. I don't think people realize that public figures, celebrities, we're people too. We see and read things. That's why they tell you don't read the comments, because it can really get into your psyche. So balancing, being a woman of faith and being on a secular show or whatever, I made the decision, because I knew that was going to come anyway, to just be me, period.
I think I do remember when you was getting hit up on the social.
Oh, yeah.
We had a conversation. I forgot about it.
Oh, yeah, because they also made me extra sexy. Okay, so it was like, people was thinking I was out here, like I'm out here for the streets or something, which anybody who knows
that
me
kind of
is not
remind
the
me.
case.
What's the young lady that was married to the other guy that was a preacher? What's her name? The actress.
I remember.
I cannot remember her name right now. But I wonder if that.
Is she on a reality show?
No, she's a movie. She's a movie star. I can't think of the young lady name. Oh my God, I can't believe.
But yeah, we get judged.
Oh my God,
you get judged 10 times harder. It almost made me wish like that I never made that statement. That I was a preacher's wife, because of course the producers ate that up. That was just like, whoa, score. Because now it's like, how can we make her look
particular way.
a particular way,
Yeah.
right? That's good. That's, from a person that's a TV producer, but not a reality show producer. I report the facts. Anyway, they, having characters is good. It's what you need because it's
they're trying
entertaining.
to be they're trying to be
Yeah.
salacious. That's what they want.
Absolutely.
That's what get the ratings for them.
Yeah.
So,
Or why am I watching?
right.
If I'm not bringing some kind of, and I did. I in my opinion, I brought the spunk, I brought the fire. People said that, oh, they got Alexis on here a lot. You know what I'm saying? But I remember one of the producers saying, we don't got to worry about you, Alexis. You're gonna give us what we need.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Okay.
But I think I naturally have a bubbly personality.
You do.
And I'm pretty feisty. So
You are.
I know all my friends say that, males and the females. So that's the essence of who I am. I'm a firecracker. I was a firecracker preacher when I was preaching.
See. So now, what's the walk now?
Yeah.
You went on a show. You tried to find love. Know you shake and move. You said you was a producer for television, and so you're still doing that. So where are we going now?
The question of the hour, where are we going now? I'm still in the wheelhouse of whatever I'm putting my hands on, it has to be about empowerment and empowerment for women. So everything I do right now, I just had a jewelry line pop off, which is called Fly in Love.
Okay.
Fly in Love.
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me
I didn't tell you. Surprise.
When'd you start that?
It actually launched yesterday.
Yep.
And
using my program to launch it. No, I don't care. I don't care. I'm at my homeboy's spot. I don't care. You can see me.
So funny. So this is actually one of the pieces. You can see it's a plane for obvious reasons. And so I joke because I say this bracelet, this is my wedding ring right now. This is the wedding ring for my wrist, because what it is like saying, God is the pilot. Okay, I'm the co-pilot. And the thing about fly is first love yourself. I'm constantly elevating with him. So when I wear this, I'm reminded that God is with me, that he's flying the plane. And that we know the altitude, I'm getting higher and higher because I'm trying to consistently go to new levels in everything that I do.
And I thought it just meant she jet sets.
No, it's some stuff.
And
it's funny because my son's name is Jet, but that had nothing to do with
I'm just jet setting. I'm going from city to city, town to town. I'm in Europe one week, next week, Paris, Geneva. I don't know.
I will say, to answer more of your question, with my new TV job now, I am jet setting. I've been flying around the nation.
Told you. That's what it really is.
Producing a lot.
She had to come up with a beautiful story for y'all.
That's funny. I will be going to Dubai this year, as well as London and Africa.
I want to go.
For ministry.
All three of those I want to do. That's on my list of things.
To do?
Well, to take my son. I want my son to have passport all packed up before he 18.
Same
so
here.
It ain't a new experience for him to get on an airplane. I want him to feel like wherever I go, it's my home.
Yeah.
I don't want you to feel like, minus the North Koreas and places like that, but wherever a plane can take you and is relatively safe, I want my son to feel like he can go there.
I love it. I was just saying that I want to take him to my son.
What about, so how much jewelry is on the jewelry line?
So
that's on the line? That's on the line?
This actually isn't, but this is. So there's 5 different pieces in a black box with Envious Me.
How expensive is this?
Oh, it's not. We made it very affordable for women. So like this bracelet, I think is $35 or something like that.
You write that down.
For your wife. That's okay. I'm gonna send you a box for her. Don't even worry about
she ain't gonna.
She don't need to know.
Look how pretty that is.
She's not gonna. I know.
You know, I put the big money into this.
There's earrings. There's some pearl earrings if she likes pearls. This is part of my collection to the pearl necklace.
There you go.
So,
now, what got you into the jewelry?
So I'm into style and fashion. This is a part of.
Yes, you're always gonna be you a fashionista.
Yeah. So this is an extension of the Fly brand as well, which is also has the fashion part to it, the connotation. That's really what Fly was before it became an acronym. When I was in college, I went to HBCU. Shout out to Clark Atlanta University.
I knew before we was done, you was gonna get that out.
You already know. And anytime you're on the campus of an HBCU, it's always a fashion show, Mad Hatter. So
don't let them know because
I stepped, And so they be like, "Girl, you fly."
There's an organization that you're a part of as well.
There is an organization that I'm a part of. We're actually celebrating Founders Day tomorrow. Shout out to Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated.
I'm just trying to get her to get it in because it was gonna get in one way or another. Get in. So we just got to handle that business.
Yes.
Now, where can they go to get the jewelry?
So you can go to nvsme.com.
God dog,
Envious Me.
Oh, spell it again?
Envious Me, but when you say it, it's like Envious Me.
Okay.
Isn't that funny? Yeah, I like that. And so you ain't got to envy me. You ain't gotta be me, be you.
Congratulations. All right, so Jewelry Line.
Yep.
Jet Setting with the J.O.B.
Yes. Still producing.
Still do ministry.
Yeah, still doing ministry.
I think wherever you go, there's opportunity to minister. You know, even on this show right here. I think sometimes people think it has to happen in the confines of this box building.
No.
And it's really about where this person goes and where they can take the good words, so to speak.
Absolutely.
So I think you do that. But I always see you always, because I follow you on the gram. So you're always a speaker here, talking there, doing this. Is that part of the I don't know what that would be called. I guess you're a speaker.
Yes.
So.
Yes. Look at you. Yes. So there's always a faith undertone to anything I do. I might necessarily always say God or Jesus. I don't have to because he's in me. So he's everywhere that I go.
That girl said, I don't have to say Jesus' name. He is within me.
He's in me.
Ooh.
God goes wherever I go. I go wherever he goes because he's in me. There's, a time and a place to be more bold with it. And there's a time just to showcase it in your character.
Absolutely.
Right. And so, so ministry is still there. For me now, it's not any longer in the form of a pulpit, basically to what you were saying. It's just in whatever I do, you're always going to hear, he's going to always say something about faith. God is always going to go before me. It's always, even in this conversation, it's in every conversation. And if you ain't cool with it, then you probably don't want me, on your platform. That's just what it is. That I would never
cameras off. Cut them off.
But by no means am I a perfect human being. No, by no means.
That's what I love about you. You've not, ever since I've known you, ever tried to come across like I'm better than, or I know it all, or I'm holier than thou.
Ooh.
You've always kept it I'm a human being. There's some flaws here and there, but I'm on a trajectory of trying to make the right decisions and hopefully can find the right man for my life.
Hopefully. And you know what? This time I won't be finding him at all. That good word says that he that finds a wife. So at this point, people like, well, why you ain't? I mean, I'm dating, I talk to people, but I have not yet where it's a committed relationship or somebody like, this is who I want to be with, or he said, this is who I want to be with. Nah, like, I'm just going to let him find me. I'm going to put myself out there, and we'll just see. But I'm not in a rush. I've been married before.
You kind of short, though, so he can easily miss you.
He's short, but I'm tall in stature in terms of personality, honey. What do you mean? You're not going to miss me, I'm telling you.
Sorry about that. No disrespect to my shorter ladies out there. Got
I am
nothing
short,
but love,
though.
y'all. He ain't gonna miss you.
Yes, I always say tiny but mighty.
Yeah, when you walk in the room, people know you in there. So,
nah,
for real. I miss working with you.
Because
I did work with her for a small time. Yeah. You don't have to go into detail about that.
No, I'm not going into detail about that, but I am going to go into detail about this, and you're probably going to feel some type of way because I'm probably going to age you just a little bit. But let me tell you why this.
Well, I was a child prodigy, first of all.
He was, first of all.
So when y'all were listening to me, I was just in my teens, mid-teens. So it all
is that what it was?
So it all balances out.
You sure about that?
Well, that's the story I tell.
Well, this comes full circle, and Hada was laughing at me because I told him how nervous I was to sit down to talk to him.
Biz, no. I'm nervous, but I'm going on a reality show to show my...
But this is different. This is different because, I guess I never told you this. Like, I really do look up to you. You're so smart. We've had so many, like, deep conversations. And here's the thing. Like, I was listening to you when I was, like, in elementary, middle school. Okay?
Like I said, I was a child prodigy. I started in the business when I was a mere teen myself.
So I never thought, imagine I was gonna ever meet you. I heard you on the radio all the time. Everybody knew who Mad Hatter was, and I used to dub my tapes and pretend like I was a radio personality.
You just aged yourself when you said you dubbed some tapes. Somebody
I remember that.
Dubbing the tape.
Flip the tape.
It was some good times.
Press the record and play or whatever.
Y'all kids missing some good stuff. If you ain't dubbed one good tape yet, you missed out on life.
Yeah. Was it record and pause or record and play?
Yeah. The record was over here, play right there, and you waiting like 3 hours for the radio to play your one song because they only play your favorite song every 40,000 hours later.
I used to pretend I was like your co-host. This is what you don't know. So it was crazy that like I grew up and I ended up having the wonderful opportunity to work with you, to meet you, to have you as a friend.
Well, thank you.
It's crazy to me. It's
Thank
just,
you.
I just I was thinking about it when I was driving here. That's like, this is so weird. Like, because what you see is things even at a young age that you see manifest as an adult. Like, I remember coloring on a coloring book because I could color. I'm an artist as well, but I haven't done art in a while. I went to HSPVA as a visual artist.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But I started coloring or drawing at 3. And I remember writing Hollywood. Like I drew Hollywood, little Hollywood,
Mhm.
whatever. And I said, one day I'm going to go to Hollywood. Like, and so the closest
You-
I've gotten to Hollywood
deserve-
was Ready
Well,
Love.
you was
but
there.
I
You
was there.
You was there. Some people don't get to go.
Yeah,
You at least got a chance to visit.
I did.
Say hello to a couple
Say
of people.
hello to a couple people, and I'm
Now,
out.
Sometimes they'll give you a ticket to leave.
Exactly.
But
I got
they
my
can't
ticket.
listen. But they can't stop you when you're there.
No.
When you're there, you waving at the
Yeah.
celebrities and they waving at you like it's all that. But then when they get tired of you, they like, well, it's been good.
Your time is up. Yeah. So you
But
take
no.
advantage of it while you're there.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
You've done well. You continue to do well. I'm very proud of you. I'm
Thank
happy
you,
for
friend.
you. You always look happy. So
I'm happy.
I'm hoping it's not just a look. I'm hoping it's a being, because that's something that I'm working through. Because I was not, for many years while I used to do what I was doing, not necessarily a happy person.
Yeah.
So trying to learn happiness,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Well, let me be
for
honest.
some of us people like me.
Well, I mean, and not just you, me. I haven't always been happy now. I always tell people that happiness is based off of a happening. So that depends on what's going on in your life. What I'm experiencing now, that what you see now, is just purely joy, which is everlasting. There's a difference between happiness and joy. So I'm not happy a lot of times,
I got you.
but I'm joyful all the time.
That girl still preaching on the side.
A little bit.
You want her at your church, call me. I'm the manager. There is a small fee involved.
I'm weak.
A small fee.
Small fee.
Very nominal.
Yeah.
But we going to get her there, and she going to give y'all a blessing.
Give him that love offering, y'all.
So that's everything that you got going on. You didn't miss nothing, because I want to make sure you get it out there.
No, yeah, that's pretty much it. For
She was
right now.
surprised because I could say, hey, Alexis, I want to interview you
I
for the
was.
podcast.
Me?
I thought she was going to hang up. It was almost like on some wild stuff. I just find her to be very interesting. Like everything about the podcast, it's so sad, so don't no one take this the wrong way. It's very, it's kind of like a spiritual journey.
Yes.
And it's a learning journey for me. It's about purpose and passion. And people that I find interesting, I just want to hear them talk.
Yeah. Hear their stories.
Sometimes I get in the way and I start running my mouth. So I try to be more mindful and just let them talk. Like I was very mindful on this one. It didn't cut you off too much. But every now and again, I get a little excited. And I'm cutting off and having fun just like the other person. But I really wanted you to tell your story. I think you're a ray of sunshine. And I think for me, what I want people to see, when those that have followed me, that they hear something or they see something that makes them say, you know what? It's going to be all right.
Yes.
It may not be perfect today, but it's going to be all right. And if I can see these people who still feel like, they're climbing, and I don't care if they're entrepreneurs, directors, athletes, comedians, whatever the situation may be, all the stories kind of like thread.
Weave together.
Yeah, they do. They really, really do. If you watch everyone that I've talked to, it's like a thread in it. And I'm hoping that they can pick things out of it and apply it to their lives and make their lives better. Because then what would be the purpose of me even doing this?
Exactly. But here's the thing, you've always done this. You're just extending yourself, and
it's totally selfish.
Well, you say
that.
You
It's
say
totally
that,
selfish
but
because it's a lot of this is about my growth too.
But that's fine.
Okay.
But what's wrong with that? You shouldn't be doing anything that doesn't benefit you. And let me get to this. Even with the show, people were like, you heard a lot of comments. So they're just on there to build their platforms, all this kind of stuff. And this is what I tell people. If I'm going to be on a platform like this and I'm going to give myself away, as to say, well, they can write me however they want, they can say what they can edit me how they want, then why am I not going to benefit off of it? That doesn't even make any sense. So you're just going to sell your soul and not get nothing for it?
Don't say sell your soul.
And I didn't sell my soul, but let me correct that, because we ain't selling our soul out here.
It'll be one or two comments. I knew she sold her soul in the first.
But what I'm saying is, sign up for something that somebody else has control over, that you don't have a say-so in how your story is written. Then on the back end, you need to be able to write your own story. If it's not the story you want to put out there, then you got to, remind people of who you really are.
Yes, ma'am.
So, you shouldn't do anything that I think is not beneficial. That's why when you sow, you're sowing on purpose, or you should be. You shouldn't just be giving anything away.
Okay.
You should be sowing it into fertile ground, knowing that, it's going to benefit you somewhere in the long run. Meaning, if you need to go back to that person, because you may have to ask them for something, they should. Doesn't always happen. Again, that's why it needs to be fertile ground. It needs to be, wise who you choose to sow into. It should be a partnership or something that is going to help you further down the line. So this is why I think it's not selfish, even though you're saying it's selfish and you're saying, you're doing it to whatever.
For my soul.
For your soul. You're so funny. At the end of the day, you're actually sharing your platform with people like me. Now people get to see another side of Alexis that they may not have seen. They've seen the show, but they haven't seen this part.
Mm-hmm.
That's a blessing for me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's not selfish.
How far in your story are you in the Alexis Lye Jones story?
How far am I?
What chapter are we in?
Ooh,
like every story is, you know, intro or beginning.
Yeah.
You got that middle, that's the media part, and then the end, which we don't never.
Yeah, we ain't trying to get to the end too fast.
we ain't no rush.
Yeah, we ain't in no rush.
You want to bring that in about 1,000 years, Jesus? We good on.
Yeah, I would definitely think I'm in the middle. I got a lot more work to do. I was actually, it's one of my prayers. I was like, God, don't take me no time soon. I ain't trying to be to the end soon because I feel like there's so much stuff left in me to do, not just for me, but for other people. Like my story is still being written. And that's funny you asked that because that's literally what I put, for my New Year's. I think one of my first posts or my last post for December 31st was story is still being written.
Is that real? Y'all go to her Instagram page. What's your Instagram?
It's the Alexis_fly.
If she ain't got it in there, or we see her there, and we see the date that she just put it in on the day after the 31st.
I'm cracking up.
I'm not gonna follow her no more.
Yeah, y'all go look. It's actually a post about a conference that I spoke at called the Her Conference. Her story is still being written. So yeah, go look. It's December 31st and January 1st. It's one of them.
She letting y'all know that she speak at places, not just churches.
That's right.
But she will speak at your function as well. There's a nominal fee. Hit your boy.
There's a love offering.
My number's on the bottom of the screen.
You got to get 20%. That's a lot. I'm giving 20%, not 10, 20.
But for you, I'm going to take a 10% reduction. Because I want her to be there.
I love it.
No,
thank
let
you,
me stop.
Fred.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time.
Thanks for having me.
We got your Instagram out there. Is there anywhere else where people can follow you and get in your business? Because they like to get in people's business. Instagram
is where I reside these days.
That's where she housed at. Okay.
So you can find me there.
Every time I go there ain't nothing personal. She just working. Every time I see her, she jet setting, looking pretty somewhere else, and jet setting again. Speaking at this conference, then more jet setting, more pretty people, another jet set.
That is funny.
Another pretty picture, more jet setting, speaking at a conference. It's almost a rotation. How's your baby? How's the son?
He's doing so good. Okay. He's 7 now, and he's jet setting. He has his own social life.
We don't see him.
Yeah, on purpose.
I'm the same way. I don't never put my son's face in it.
Nope.
Because I have not got permission.
Yep.
Because he can't talk yet.
He can't. He can absolutely. And mine can talk, and I still don't do it. It's funny. I used to do that, and then, as things have changed in my life, I'm like, I don't want to put him out like that.
Because people are really
They're crazy.
Nasty.
They're nasty.
And mean.
Yep.
And I'm fine if somebody says something because, man.
Yeah, but when it's your child.
But I didn't get permission from him. And I think he should be at a reasonable age. And so until he's in his teens, I'll probably always do a shadow picture.
I respect that.
I do want, sometimes I am happy. And, I take about 1 million pictures of him.
Yes.
So sometimes I do want to just put, look at my baby.
I know, look at my baby. I know. It's
but
hard
I used to do it with my girls too.
Yeah.
My oldest, she wasn't really down with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Second one, she wasn't really down with it anyway, but I would force her, like when we would eat places. I'm on Instagram, pop, stop, but you got to respect them.
Their decision.
But as a parent, we are excited to showcase our
We
children,
are, because that side of me, that's a huge side of me, and I want to show it. I want to do it, but I can't.
Me too, man. I really want to. Everything. I read to him, I put it on Gram one day that I was reading to my baby.
Yeah.
So you can tell that there is a baby there because you can see a head slightly.
Yes.
But you cannot see anything.
Yes.
You see a hand in the picture.
Oh.
But
I'm so excited about that.
I'm excited too.
It's cool to see you as a dad.
wait till after my career is done to have a child.
But that was the perfect time
crazy,
for you.
Fool.
No.
Well, I think, I don't think and I feel bad for my girls because the father they got was the Mad Hatter.
A different father.
They got the Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
My son gets Benny C.
Yeah.
C stands for chill. I was always cool, and I still am.
Yeah, you are.
But he gets a different father that's not doing all this stuff and taking pictures with this celebrity and, hey, kid, come over here. I remember when I made 50-50. Hold on, man. Don't leave out here till you take a picture with my kid.
Yeah.
Smile, y'all. This kid,
Yeah.
he won't get a chance to know all that.
Well, you know, that's honest. You
Unless
know,
y'all make me famous again.
you still famous. What we talking
Nah.
about? Lady just tried to take a picture. Didn't try. She did take a picture with you when we came up here, so you still famous. But the bottom line is, you know,
I'm
that's
just the local yokel, like
lies you tell. Lies.
like the homie said in his song. I'm just a local yokel.
You are so humble. It sometimes drives me just a little bit crazy. But here's the thing. That's honest. But at the end of the day, you know, we still get new opportunities. You know, you can't change the past. That was that season.
It was. It was
you
a
were a
great
different
season.
person.
Yeah,
then.
I was.
You know, and we just accept
I missed
that.
out on a lot, though. And I tell people this all the time. I really feel bad because I was so narrow focused. I really didn't take the time to get to know people. Real quick story. It's about her.
Yeah, no, I want to hear this.
A young lady that we worked with was leaving. She got a job. And I just, you know, not that I'm different. I'm just a little more attentive now than I used to be.
Yeah.
And so when she was leaving, I heard it. So I just walked by her office and say, hey, congratulations on leaving, man. I hope everything happened for you, da 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 da. And the lady just like, she started crying. And I'm like, oh, snap. I thought maybe something was going on in her day and I don't know, I triggered it or something like that. I'm like, what's going on? And this is a woman that I've seen her. I can't say like we're best friends, but she, you know, she's been a part. She's worked in some of the places where I work. So I've seen this lady for, 20-something odd years. He said, all the years that you've known me, you've never said anything to me.
She didn't feel noticed by you. Wow. And you said something and she just broke into tears. Ooh, that's deep. Hannah.
And you don't know the impact.
Yes.
Here's the funny thing. You don't know how many of those conversations I have. It's kind of heartbreaking to me because I'm like, damn, you were focused. Because then, another lady started working at the place and she's like, oh my God, I thought you were so arrogant, but you're so nice and you're so this with people and you're so that with people.
So sweet.
I'm like, yeah, when you kind of like standoffish with people because I'm still me.
Yeah.
So although you're the Mad Hatter, I still have a street mentality. I think that you want to hurt me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I was always closed off, kind of. It was like my arms open for about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna close it back. But I did that to a lot of people. And I don't feel bad. It just makes me a little sad because I probably missed out on some really great friendships.
Well, here it is. It's a new day. You're in a new season because the Hatter I met, I don't know the Hatter. And we talked about this before. You told me.
I mean, he was cool, but
he
now
was cool,
this Hatter.
But I never got that. Like, when I've worked with you, you've checked on me, you good, all the kind, like I didn't know that. And so my experience was a great experience, continues to be. But like I said, when I was just talking about even when you're in any relationship, even with relationship with yourself, you evolve, you change over. And if you're not changing, you're not growing, then that's the issue.
Thank you.
So we're here now. This the
I'm older now in this season.
We need in this season.
I'm trying to figure out what I want to be when I grow up. Yeah, I tell people that all the time. Don't be mad. My best friend is my son, Case.
Yep. That cutie pie.
That's my dude.
Yeah.
And my daughters, they my second best friends.
Yep.
Well, my wife is really my best friend.
That's your best friend. That's the best friend.
She's a bestie.
Yeah, she's the best.
My best friend is my son.
Yeah.
And my daughters. Yeah. But I'm really, really lucky at this present time.
Yeah.
And when I think sometimes people are like, oh, Hatters, it's like it's done. I'm like, man, I had a long run. If you go look at the mathematics on it, that's a longer run than many.
But your story is cool because you got to build. I think a lot of men want to do that. They usually want to build before they bring a family in. And you, regardless of how long that takes, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I did.
You got to do that. So you were already set, so you had a family. Come on in.
KHOU definitely is going to have a different.
You ain't got to worry about nothing.
Well, I'm not going to say you don't have to worry because I treat mine like they got to get
They got to earn their own. Yeah,
I treat my girls.
But I'm saying as far as right now, up until he's 18 and he's growing.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of learning to do.
You know
and I hope that I can teach him a lot.
You hope?
I hope so.
You're already
because
doing that.
I'm only human. Born to make mistakes.
Boy, if we come out like you, we're going to have Mad Hatter number 2.
You know
what
what's
we
so
going to do, y'all?
He loves music.
Mad Hatter number 2.
I start singing to him. I'd be making up songs on the spot.
But he's going to be better than you, though.
Well, I ain't mad at that. I want him to be better.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I want his heart right now, man. Everywhere he go, everybody loves him. Okay, last story. We on the airplane because I told you I'm trying to get him.
Stamp him.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom.
So we on a flight from Cali, Chicago, DC.
Yeah.
So I don't pay attention who's behind us in the seat. So
you not being observant? Okay.
No, I'm not, because I'm with my family, and when I'm with them, my brain again, I turn into almost I'm super focused, just like the way I used to be in radio.
Yeah.
But so we sit down, and my son is really good. He don't really,
Why?
he don't bitch like a lot of,
Wow.
I hear things about babies. He's not
Oh
that.
yeah, they be howling on that plane.
We go through the whole flight, get up, then my son, get him up, he laughing and joking. Nancy Pelosi, the speaker.
Look at my face, because I know you're not about to tell me she was on the plane.
Nancy Pelosi is sitting behind us.
You lying.
Nancy Pelosi.
Wait, was y'all went in first class? Or was you in first class?
Listen, man.
You was in first. I know he was in first.
Just listen to the story. You taking the wrong thing out the story. You done took the story somewhere.
Don't tell me about the
We
flip
sitting
over.
in the seat.
Okay.
And Pelosi behind me.
Yeah,
That's all you need to know about this story.
Okay.
So Pelosi, she's getting off the plane because I don't be in no rush. I ain't no rush no more. I move slow now. I'm straight Houston. I move slow. I got to get there real early because I'm moving. I ain't running.
Taking your time.
Yes, sir. So we getting out. We sitting there getting our stuff together. Nancy Pelosi with the big old gigantic bodyguard turns around. She's like, "Oh my God, your baby is the best baby in the world and so beautiful."
That is insane.
Translation: that mofo was not crying, and I'm so happy because I was trying to take a nap.
That is a translation.
I'll tell my baby.
Wow.
See, we already big time,
Big
son.
time,
We
baby.
already we Pelosi, we political figures, we rappers, we singers, we doing it all,
How
baby.
old is he now?
He is, at the time of this filming, he is 5 months going on 6.
He met Nancy Pelosi at 5.
Oh yeah, he meeting all the celebrities. But everybody says the same thing about it.
Oh, yeah.
So I get
It's gonna be great.
scared. I'm very scared because one time at the
Superstar
I'm taking the baby from the nursery. The girl said, "All right, Case, love you." Whoa,
hold on.
So I felt
some type of way.
but I ain't trying to be that guy.
Okay.
So I had to go home and have a reset with the wife. Like, hey, should I feel some type of way because this person said that they love my baby? I'm like, I get that, but do I need to look at these cameras a little bit closer when? And she's like, just relax. You got a good son.
Baby. That's what
and
they're
people
saying.
appreciate
I mean,
it.
okay, let's flip, because now I'm interviewing you. Let's flip that. What do you say when people, I love Hatter? I mean, what's the
I don't
difference?
acknowledge it. And here's the funny thing, and I think people might take it as, I think people assume that I have an ego or am rude because I've always been quiet.
Yeah, you
and
are
they
quiet.
expect me to be like, no disrespect, I love my brother J Mac, but they expect me to be him. J Mac is hamming it up all the time. He's
bubbly.
that guy. He loved this
Social
life.
butterfly.
Yeah, I'm not that guy. I'm not really a social person. So I'm quiet when I go places. I'm reserved. I'll sit in the back. I won't make conversation. And so people are like, oh, he think he better than everybody.
Yeah.
Nah, I go and make assessments when I go into a building because my brain, I grew up a very, questionable way. So I look for danger as soon as I go to places.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to pick out who's bad, who's good, so my brain is overactive.
Yeah.
So it needs to be a way making assessments.
Yeah.
And then it's always like, how much money are they making? And it's doing mathematics. So I have a very loud brain. It's never quiet, which is a hard place to be. So I would always have those problems. Like, oh, he thinks he's all that. And then they meet you and like, he ain't nothing like what I thought. But I was okay with it. And that's why I say the lady that got there, she was like, oh my God, I thought you had an ego. You're so sweet. I'm like, I'm used to it. Like, it don't move me now because I know if they say that or if they say anything negative about me, they don't know me. But you become, because of what, just like being on that TV, you saw how people can be. Yeah. They don't know anything about you.
They don't know nothing about you. And came up with a whole...
But Sky, they had a whole story about you. And they was, they just doing drive-bys.
It's true.
And I always remember, I got that from Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy says, I'm not on social media because I don't need nobody to do drive-bys on me. And that's what social media is sometimes.
It's
somebody go by your page to do a hit on you.
Oh yeah, to do a hit on you.
To bring you down because you miserable in your life.
Come on and talk about it.
I was singing my song, Say What You Want to Say. Some dude had to go down my comment to say something negative. Like, oh, I used to hate that song when you played it. And I said, it bring me joy.
Yeah, I liked it.
But I appreciate the follow.
Yeah. But
so, I just took, I'm gonna take your negative and I'm gonna flip it and make it positive. That's where I'm at. So
have you always been like that?
I think this is bad. And this is why I had to get out. This is another reason why I had to get out. I was so surrounded by negativity all the time because of what I do.
Yeah.
There's an expectation when you do what I do, everybody expects you to have all the answers, or you can play my song, or because of your position, you can do this for me, you can do that. So everyone that comes at you is never genuine.
They want something.
Everybody. Even my family members. The same way. Because some people like, man, whenever you get on the phone, you just go, what? Because whenever my phone rang, it wasn't somebody checking on me, seeing how you doing. It was somebody wanting something. So I just said, what? So we can hurry up and get to it, and I can decide if I'm going to give it to you.
Now, let me ask you a question. As a friend, have I called and have I ever texted you and just be like,
never. It's not even the same.
And I'm not just using, I'm just saying that because what you're saying resonates with me because I understand being in that position.
But our friendship is different.
It is different.
we grew in a different way. I can't even explain it on film. It's totally platonic. I want y'all to.
It is. So y'all go somewhere with them.
It's like big brother, little sister type action. You know what I'm saying? And you have them conversations with little sister, like, little sis, you got to do you.
Yeah.
Because
you did tell me that.
I had my career already.
Yeah.
I'm just looking for something minor to make sure that the lights stay on. But I've had a career and it was great. You got to do what's right. You.
It's true.
And I'm sitting here. I'm a fan now. I sit back and I watch people like you, and I just sit there and applaud. Like, do you?
But it helped me. It helped me. Me being somebody that followed you for a long time, and you weren't even aware of that. And being in a position where you now were a public figure, I don't know if you remember, I had to come to you and ask you, how did you deal with the negativity and things like that? Because
it comes with it.
Yeah, it comes with it.
And it never gets better.
Yeah.
It never, look, nobody wants to hear how trashy somebody else thinks that they are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But what I always try to imagine, I do two things. One, I try to imagine how unhappy that person is that they took the time out of their day to tell me about something that they didn't like about me.
Yes.
I'm like, you must be really unhappy. Because I ain't taking that kind of time. Because if I don't like you, I don't watch you. I won't watch your show. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to conversate. I don't know what you're doing on the gram.
Yes.
I really don't know.
Yes.
I don't care about you.
I don't care.
Nothing personal.
Yeah.
It is personal. It's for my soul.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is we just can't wrap ourselves up into somebody else's thoughts of us.
That's it right there.
And as long as the people I'm closest to, and I always used to remind myself, as long in my radio career days, it was about my mother and my sister.
Yep.
As long as them two loved me,
that's all that matters.
My mom thought I walked on. When Jesus did the walking on the water and all that, she might have thought that I was right behind her.
Oh yeah, you were
several times. I had to tell her, like, no, that was just Jesus. I wasn't there. I wasn't there that week. let me stop.
But I love it. Come on, Mama.
I appreciate everything you're doing. I think you have a very exciting personality. I wish the best for you.
Thank you.
I hope you do find the love that I think everyone deserves. Good love in their life. Somebody they can build with, grow with, get old with, hate with, you know what I'm saying? Because there's going to be times where y'all hate,
I know, I've been there. I get it.
And still be cool. Yeah. Like I want to still be able, with my girl, if I fight, it's not going to be long for me.
Yeah.
And this is something I had to learn. Like it could be off, we could be fighting, but literally 30 seconds later, almost every time, I end it, no matter how hot
you were.
And come give her a kiss.
And that's how it's supposed to be.
Because I don't want you to think I'm about to take this and we're going to linger here for a whole week and this house is miserable.
Oh, yeah.
Because I got my babies around.
And they can feel their energy.
That's right. And we ain't starting that kind of energy because they have that. They'll take that energy. And I especially don't want this little boy to have that energy. I want him to see nothing but love and respect. So as he gets older, he loves and respects women.
You're that example for him.
So that's
why I got out of my situation because I had those same thoughts. And so, before we end, if I went Bible on you real quick, that's the scripture what you just said. It says, don't go to bed, don't go to sleep, with wrath on your heart or being angry. Because you really don't know if you're gonna see that person the next day, if they're gonna wake up. That's gonna end up on your conscience. You can't get that person back. So that is scriptural, what you're saying. And so it's really smart and wise. You're just a wise person.
Stop it.
Hey, I got to give my flowers to my friend now. You ain't got to take them now, but I'm going to give them to you. I think I always have. I try to, but I am honored and I appreciate you for valuing me enough and seeing something in me to allow me to even be here today talking to you. It's a big deal to me. I just want everybody to know it is really a big deal to me.
Oh, no.
I'm still nervous, even if I don't seem like it. But you've helped me, in case you didn't know, and I know I've already told you, but when I was like dealing with my situation and coming into this newness of a new level, because all it is a new level. It's a place I haven't been before. You were my big brother and you talked me, off the ledge.
It looked like a ledge.
It looked like the ledge. But I flew. I didn't go down. I flew up.
I could tell at that moment.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Let me give her a bridge.
Let me
right
give her
quick.
a bridge real quick so she can get over.
Let me give her a bridge right quick.
But that's what friends do. And so my last question is, so when this, beautiful, wonderful man sent by God comes around, you gonna come to my wedding or am I gonna have to tow you?
No. I gotta be there because I'm gonna be shaking.
To witness this.
Because I'm gonna be like, man,
yo,
you got to be the one.
You got to be because
she went on TV searching for you, bro. You was not there. He took trips to Dubai,
to London, to Africa.
You wasn't there.
I'm too done.
How we know that all she needed to always do just go right over there to Fifth Ward, and you would have been there.
But what's crazy is, he might have been. I probably have already met him, but don't know. That's what's so funny about it. So we gonna see.
How about that?
But I'm not in no rush, friend. I'm chilling. I'm enjoying my life. I'm very joyous. We ain't gonna say happy, y'all. That's based off of happening, but I do have my happenings every week, as much as possible. I do things for myself to make me happy. So while we're waiting, in the meantime, I love on me. You know what I'm saying? I go buy the things I like to buy for myself. I ain't gotta wait on no man to give me no Gucci, Louis Vuitton. I can do that myself. If I want to go get a massage, go do this, I treat myself, because even for my son, if mommy's not okay, then our household's not gonna be okay. So you gotta take care of yourself. Just like when you're on a plane, they say put the mask on you, oxygen mask on you first before you put it on your child. You're not being selfish.
Okay.
You're making sure you're in order first, and then you can take care of everybody else.
Alexis Fly Jones. Emphasis on.
I'm here for it.
Oh my goodness. She will be on the next season of say the name of the show? I just went blank.
Ready to Love.
She will be on the 9th season. Ready to Love returns.
Shout out to Will Packer.
Let me stop. No, thank you so much. I love you.
Thank you, friend. I love you too.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.